Hey everyone, Lee here. Hope you're all okay. I've been meaning to comment on a story that I heard a couple of days ago. I haven't got around to it, but I'll finally do it. I mean, I know nobody's really talking about the riots anymore, but there's an interesting case I see where two boys who they basically try to organise a riot on Facebook. Like, they set up an event page, organise violence starting at, I don't know, 7 o'clock at night or something. And they got, for inciting violent disorder, they got 4 years in prison each for it. Now, I'm all for tough sentences for rioters and looters, but these guys said something on the internet and they got 4 years for it. Now, if their action of inciting violence on the internet had led to violence in the areas where they wanted it to be, then yeah, I can totally understand that. Events organised and then actually happening, and yeah, I can totally understand that. So, like I said, I can totally understand it, but nothing came of what they did. There's no violence that came of what they did. What should have happened is, the police, when alerted by Facebook of this, what the police should have done is gone round their house, and gone round their houses and warned them that if anything came of this event that they organised on Facebook, then they would be prosecuted. If a riot actually happened that they organised, if actually what they organised actually happened, then they would get prosecuted. Police could warn them, and so they say, just cancel the event and tell people not to. That would have been the sensible and logical thing to do, in my opinion. Now, I know there's been a lot of anger from the public, and so the courts have been pressured to hand down harsh sentences to anyone involved in the riots at all, and I agree with that. Anyone that has actually been involved in terms of taking stolen goods from their friends, accepting goods that they know that have been stolen from their friends, or actually broken in the shops themselves and stolen things. If they get harsh sentences, then fine. But I believe there's inconsistency and injustice, in my opinion. The boys obviously got 4 years each. Some guy that robbed a bottle of water from Lidl, he broke into a Lidl shop and robbed a bottle of water. I think it was a bottle of water, I'm not sure. Anyway, he got 6 months. He broke into a shop and robbed something and got 6 months. And two guys that were promoting violence, that wanted violence to happen, said on their Facebook that they wanted violence to happen, they got 4 years. Now, it should have been the other way around. Or, like I said, the police should have warned them. But like I said, there's been a lot of, somewhat reactionary actions that have happened. Of course, you need to react to this and you need to prosecute the people that were doing this. But, at the end of the day, they said something on Facebook. Now, if what they'd said had led to action, then yes. But it didn't lead to anything. Yes, they were stupid doing it. I don't agree with what they did at all. It's completely stupid and missed all the writing. That was pretty stupid, of them. They clearly obviously wanted violence to happen. Otherwise, obviously, they wouldn't have put it. But the fact is, nothing did come of it. And of course, they should be prosecuted in a way or warned by the police. But to send them down for 4 years, personally, I think that's a bit harsh. Now, people may call me a lefty liberal who believes, oh yeah, no, criminals should have rights. No, I don't believe criminals should have rights. And I'm one of those who say the police were too soft on the actual rioters and looters. Like, when they were actually out rioting and looting, a lot of the police didn't do anything, and they should have had access to water cannons and rubber bullets early on in the riots, in my opinion. So that's not a lefty liberal thing to say. That's my opinion, common sense thing to say, so the police can actually deal with the crimes effectively. But it's been inconsistent, and like I said, person that actually robbed something 6 months, guys that were promoting violence and wanted said something on the internet got 4 years. Now, there was a very good article in the Eye. It's the independent, shorter version of the independent newspaper, and there's this woman who's writing it. Quite a good point on this case. She said, "Well, will it? Do we then go to the? Do we then, if someone watches Newsnight, see a politician that they hate that's part of the government, and then put, I'm going to overthrow the government, who's with me or something. If they say that on Twitter, on Facebook, and the police see that, should they be arrested for 4 years for inciting disorder and anarchy? Should they be, they've said something. Whether they go to the Houses of Parliament and actually try and break in and overthrow the government, if they do that, then fine. But then arrest them. But if they said it, but like I said, you don't arrest people like that. Like, in my opinion, if these boys had just done this randomly, if it had just been a normal circumstances, then I honestly think they probably would have just got walled away. But the public want to see tough action, so the police took tough action. Now, I'm all for tough action, and I'll be the first to say sometimes the police are too soft. But this is unfair. It is. I mean, like I said, I don't feel sorry for the guys, but I feel it's unjust that someone that actually committed burglary only got 6 months, and they, who promoted burglary on the internet, gone, yeah, do this, told people to do it, got 4 years. They said something, got 4 years. Someone done something, got 6 months. Do you see the difference there? I think it was a bit harsh. And going on to another story, I'll provide both these links to this story and another story. David Cameron has been calling for maybe banning social networking at times of writing, where writing's been organised. That he said ban social networking, or control what people say on there, and stop people saying things that would incite violence. Now, like I said, I don't agree with people putting certain stuff on the internet, but we don't want to go towards a China situation where we control and stop people putting certain things on the internet. 'Cause that's the beauty of our country. We live in such a free society that the BNP are allowed to set up their website. They incite racial hatred on their website all the time, and they're allowed to do it. And I will defend their right to do that. I believe it's racial hatred. They'll say otherwise. Whatever. That's not the point. They have the freedom to do that. The EDL have a freedom to run a site. And people have a freedom to say things. But, and if we control our social... Yeah, monitor it and stop violence from happening. Track down the people who try and organise something and warn them. But to just go, no, that's it, you said something, put you in prison. That, to me, it's a bit dodgy, and we don't want to go down towards the route where we've reacted to these riots and go, right, tough sentences from now on for everyone. That even if they've done it or said it, doesn't matter. If they've said something, tough sentences still. And like I said, I don't agree with what people say sometimes on the internet. Like, again, these two kids, or as I mentioned, the BNP or the EDL, but they have the freedom to say that. And Cameron, he's all for like freedom and civil liberties, this government supposedly, yet he's kind of backing the idea of state controlling the social media. Yeah, monitor it, by all means, monitor it. I'm not saying that at all. But to control it, people wouldn't have any freedom at all. We live in a democracy. And people may think I'm defending these guys. I'm not. They should have done it. They were wrong to do it. But I think, like I said, the judges have been inconsistent. 6 months for someone that actually committed burglary. 4 years for the guys who tried to organise a riot, and nothing came of it. who promoted violence on the internet. 4 years for them, 6 months on who actually committed burglary. Do you see? I mean, I don't know whether 6 months is the usual time for burglary. I don't know what the, certainly anyone who knows a lot about law can tell me what the usual sentence is for theft or burglary. Then please let me know. But 6 months sounds a bit like, yeah, it sounds a bit soft in my opinion, considering someone gets 4 years for saying something. So that's my view on it. I'll provide links to the stories. Like I said, David Cameron, what he said about social networking, and the news article about these two guys. So thank you for watching. I'm open to comment and debate on this, and I will post another video shortly when I get the time. I really should finish with a tagline, to be honest, but I haven't thought of one yet. I'll try and do one for the next video. Anyway, I'm rambling on here, so thank you for watching. Open to comment, debate from anyone. So thank you for watching, and see you later.